What's going on, guys? This is Kaishro. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. On this video, we're going to cover OCG topping decklist from June 25 to June 28. So we do have a lot of topping decklist post ban list, post July 2024 ban list. So this will be a very pivotal video for us to mitigate and identify which decks are doing well at the start of our fresh format. So we are going to browse tournaments from mostly in Japan, but some here are in Korea and China. So without further ado, let's start. So we do have a Tenpai decklist here, topping decklist from Tsutaya trading card game tournament in Japan. So it was shared by Tetsu. So this Tenpai Dragon was only playing the recent limited to one Sangen Summoning, and it definitely hurt the deck in consistency levels and resiliency. But this time, they played more copies of Nibiru and Phantasmi on the main deck, which can be very strong on the format right now, considering that we are combo-oriented format and also with a bunch of link-based decks like Yubel, Finsmith, and Rescue Ace. So yeah, very traditional way of playing Tenpai Dragon with more hand traps, and only played once Sangen Summoning right now, but didn't play the more popular tech cards here like the set rotation and also way out. So it's more of focusing on more hand traps and interrupting the opponent, and also play the Zeus package, the Downward and Zeus, which can be utilized from the Break Sword, and you can use that to break the opponent's board if you have been under the fissure, rather dimensional barrier. And it can be great because you do have a lot of level 3 on the deck. So yeah, moving on. We do have top 4 tournament here from Karufuda in Japan. So another shared tournament from Tetsu. So we do have first place Finsmith Yubel. Yeah, Finsmith Yubel, arguably the best deck right now in the OCG. Most people would claim it as well because they have been performing really well on previous Road of the King articles, and they have been like the best deck since last 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I do believe that this is probably the best deck right now, this fresh format. And next, we do have Tenpai Dragon. So I assume this is the deck list from earlier. And next, we do have another Tenpai Dragon. This time with Multichami on the main deck and only 2 copies of Ash Blossom. So it would be very interesting, no, to see Ash Blossom into 2 copies with this Tenpai Dragon build. This time it focused more on board breakers with Trust and Duster, and also Super Poly and Droplet, which can be very strong against Yubel, the likes of Voiceless Voice, and can be really strong as well on the mirror match. So yeah, very nice deck list here of Tenpai Dragon. Next, we do have Labyrinth Finsmith. So this time, with double transaction rollback, most of the time, they only play only 1 copy of rollback, and also play the Black Goat Laps on the main deck, which can be very techy on the Labyrinth, can be used as a discard fodder and also a high impact trap to stop the likes of Tenpai and other decks that could be struggling with the Black Goat Laps. Moving on, we do have tournament here, X1. Yeah, X1 branded, lost on top 8 from Korean tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So we do have branded 60 here. So yeah, very comfort deck for many people. No, they have been playing branded since 2021, and I wouldn't blame them if they resort back into playing branded once again because the format is new. It's new to us, and you would most likely go back to your comfort deck. So yeah, branded 60, very palpable deck in the format right now. Can be really strong going second with the Trust in this deck and with Droplet paired with Nadir. So yeah, very nice build here of branded. 60 card branded with Grass, of course. Next, we do have a topping list of Snake Eyes post-ban list. So this time, with only 1 Snake Eyes Ash and 2 Bonfire, this definitely hurt their consistency. And they are running a new tech card here below the Oak and Ash. I forgot the name, but yeah, another spell card and tech card for Snake Eyes. And this also played without the Finsmith engine, which is more popular for Snake Eyes. This time with only 1 chicken game, no, most of the time they would see 3 copies of chicken game on the main deck. And also tech in copies of Retaliating Sea on the side deck, which can really hurt the format right now, especially the mirror match of the Snake Eyes. And next, moving on, we do have Salaman Great deck list. So very odd to see Salamangreat without the Kaiser Colosseum. So without Kaiser, they are not sucky enough to sack the opponent from game 1, no? Sitting on their monster with one Kaiser Colosseum, and they will get to OTKU the next turn. It's very infuriating to play against Salamangreat in that way. So this time, just the standard Salamangreat with more hand traps, play Droll, Veiler, Nibiru on the main deck with double talent, which can be very peculiar to answer the hand traps in the format right now. And yeah, moving on, we do have Memento Atlan. So another very good deck. Most of my viewers and subscribers in my YouTube channel, they are asking me if what do I think about Memento Atlan, whether I would rank it as a top 5 best deck right now in the post-July format. But for me, I would rather rank it as 6th or 7th best deck, just below the Tenpai Dragon in my own books. There's nothing personal with the deck. I do believe that Memento Atlan is very strong right now and very mid-rangey as well. You can see on this build, it plays 15 hand traps, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And very good on the format right now, considering that you can answer the format with Nibiru and the Veiler. And also, you are playing a bunch of hand traps on the side deck with the Gamma package and Mourner. So yeah, very enticing list here of Memento Atlan with also an X1 record. Yeah, X1 record, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, X2 lost in the finals. So yeah, moving on. We do have Farking, Finsmith, Snake Eyes. So this is the newest iteration of Farking right now. This time with only 2 Bonfire and 1 Snake Eyes Ash, it definitely hurt their grind game. But considering that they have Kirin, they have Phoenix on the Farking engine, they are more welcome to consider grinding out with their opponent into prolonged game states, and also played Multichami and 3 Winter Cherries on the side deck. Winter Cherries has a target of the Spirit of Yubel on the extra deck as well, and can be very strong on the Yubel matchup, considering that the format is very determined by the Yubel, Snake Eyes, and Fire King right now. So yeah, very unconventional way of side decking, but it proves to be very effective on mirror matches and also the meta matches on this format. And yeah, moving on, we do have sensitive content, but yeah, we're going to browse it as Yubel, Finsmith, yeah. And Dark Ruler No More is returning in our side deck right now. Most people are dropping the Dark Ruler No More before, but now they are more invested on playing the Dark Ruler because there's a bunch of Yubel in the format, and Dark Ruler is a great card to deal with a very obnoxious board of Yubel. You have Caesar, you have the Spirit of Yubel, you have the Omni Negate from the Finsmith, and also can also play the Unchained, Link to Blue Dog, and yeah, very strong considering that they could still have SP Little Knight on their board. So very obnoxious, lots of interruptions and negations. So Dark Ruler No More proves to be an excellent choice to stop them from dominating the games. And next we do have top 4 from Marineford TCG in Korea. So first place we have Infernoid. So this deck will be very resistant into changes because they will not be getting hits from the ban list other than the Bonfire hit rather, and I do believe this is from before ban list, but yeah, it or deck is error, but it plays 3 Bonfire. So this time with Burning Draw on their side deck can be used as a tech because you are only summoning fire here, and Transaction Rollback and my Akashi Goatsmith Girl, very 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 obnoxious way of winning the game. It is like an FTK and can be very accessible to the Beatrix. And next we do have Earth Good Stuff. Yeah, Earth Good Stuff. Probably Adamantipator with Super Heavy Samurai, with Millennium, with Finsmith. Very cancerous way of playing a combo deck, but it should work because you do have a lot of multiple engines. You are going to start with multiple plays. You are able to support your playthrough with this deck even if you get hand trapped. And it's very hard to stop this deck because it has multiple engines, can start in multiple ways, and can be very direct as well on their combo, and could also bring out the most obnoxious board right now with the Savage Barone and also Little Knight with Apollousa, very strong. And also play the Amritara package, no, on the side deck, can be also used as an protection for your board. Another Omni Negate option from this trap card of Vanadium, if I'm not mistaken. Next, we do have Finsmith Visas or Visas. Yeah, Finsmith. Oh, Finsmith Vanadium. So, Finsmith with Vanadium, very insane deck right now. This has been quite popular in Korean tournaments, and I wouldn't really rate this deck too much because I haven't seen enough tops of Finsmith Vanadium. But the Finsmith Visas is gaining traction just before the ban list. But with Vanadium, I do believe that it's a different story. It's more explosive than the Visas and can also be more resilient considering that you are playing a Vanadium engine. And the only problem would be, of course, Droll. You would get stuck by Droll in this deck. And next, you do have Runic. So, goodness, Runic. Runic wouldn't be out in the any kinds of meta game. They will procure to stun people and pest out opponents. And yeah, moving on, we do have another tournament from Next Play Japan. Yeah, Next Play CS Japan. So we have a first place here, Yubel Finsmith. So it's no surprise, no? The Yubel would be dominating in this July format before the Rota set that is coming this late July or early July rather. And also played Solemn Judgment over the likes of the Black Lotlafs and Anti-Spell. Could be very strong on the side deck to answer the rising popularity of Dark Ruler No More. And also Evenly Match as well, very strong against the Rescue Ace. Considering that Rescue Ace should be the second best deck in the books of mine right now. And next we do have Memento Clan. So another Memento Clan. Similar list from earlier but displays the Appointer of Red Lotus. So Appointer, very versatile card. You could out the Lava Golems, the Sphere modes from very unknown and unfamiliar decks and can be also good against Evenly Match. And next we do have Snake Eyes, Finsmith, Fire King. So with this time with Multichami, I believe this is the same list as earlier. And next we do have Drytron. So this is the top 4 of the tournament. And Drytron has been looking very, very solid on recent reports. Drytron has been topping recently in Japan, Korea. And I do believe that Drytron is better than ever, even though this is more of a unique way of playing Drytron without the Herald or the Diviner. This time, they are using their new support and new ritual. And they are not playing the perfection anymore on this build. But yeah, it is rather interesting considering that Drytron has been falling off in the recent formats and they are now once back again with their new support. And yeah, moving on, we do have Spiral Horus, the recently upgraded and buffed Spiral, this time with double quick fix. So I wonder if it will fix the deck. But yeah, let's hope for the best because Spiral has been a very, very horrific deck in the memories of many people in the OCG. It used to be a very strong tier 0 deck and it used to occupy 80-90% of metagame report. Is very ridiculous to a very long shot. And this deck has been playing the Magician's Soul and Horus Engine as well to boost the rank 8 place of this Spiral. Could also potentially dump your cards. But yeah, I'm not really familiar with the Spiral. You could also use the Horus to link climb as well. And yeah, played the Gryphon and the Firewall Dragon. So just the usual loops and shenanigans of Spiral. This time with more consistency, of course, with double quick fix. And next time, we do have Yubel, another Yubel Finsmith on this video. And this time played the rank 10 Valdora. I forgot the name of this rank 10. It always changes in TCG translation. I'm sorry. But yeah, this time it played the Caesar, of course. And also played copies of the Almirage as well. Could be used on link climbing your hand traps, brick cans, and could also result into something SP Little Knight. And next, we do have Dragon Link. Yeah, Dragon Link with Centurion. Oh, it has Centurion. Yeah, it has Centurion engine. So, this has been a thing in China Bestial, Centurion, Dragon Link, Pseudo Dragon Link, of course, tends to top tournaments in large Chinese tournaments. If I'm not mistaken, it was on WCQ China tournament, and it caught a lot of attention in the OCG territory. And most people are experimenting the Dragon Link with Centurion, and I do believe it could work. Most people are really invested in this deck, and they are really trying it out. Especially my friend Justin, he's also playing with this deck. But to him, it could break on a lot of occasions, but it's more explosive than the usual Centurion, and also offers more recovery. So yeah, I do believe it has strengths and also weaknesses. And moving on, we do have Rescue Ace, the recently nerfed Rescue Ace with one Ash and one, rather double Bonfire. So it didn't change anything that much, no, on the Rescue Ace. There's not enough hits to hold the deck damaged by the ban list. But yeah, very consistent Rescue Ace right now, probably the second best deck. This time it tech the Phoenix, yeah, Phoenix Fusion. So he has Proxy F Magician on his build to summon this out, and could also work to dodge Veilers in Imperms before, but he is not playing Madragon of the Swamp. I wonder why, but yeah, Madragon could be here. And he didn't play Finsmith as well, so just the traditional Snake Eyes Rescue Ace. And next we do have another tournament from Tetsu in Japan. And moving on, we do have Horus. Yeah, it took so long to load. Horus with Earthbound Tearlaments. Oh my goodness. Another Tearlament shenanigans are surfacing in the OCG right now. And I wonder if it could work really. Yeah, maybe Finsmith could make Beatrice dump something, and also the Horus could make Zombie Vampire. And yeah, very interesting. It could work, no? I do see the plays in this deck. There's a line to make this work. And it's scary to think that Tearlaments would still be alive this 2024. They have been terrorizing the OCG metagame since 2022, and people, especially Tearlaments enthusiasts, are not giving up with the deck anytime soon. They're trying to find ways, make ways to make the deck work. And yeah, moving on, we do have Finsmith Snake Eyes. So standard, no? Nothing too extravagant here. Just played triple Droll and triple Veiler in replacement of other copies that they have lost. And next we do have Magical Musket. Yeah, Magical Musketeer with Finsmith, of course. So another deck that is controversial in the Japan and Korean metagame charts. They have been labeling this deck as tier 3 or tier 4 meta deck in their books, especially the content creators and top players in those countries. But for me, I don't rate this deck that much, because mainly to the fact that I haven't faced it as much as they have. Maybe this deck is better than what I thought. But yeah, I believe this deck is really strong in the hands of right pilot, very technical to use, and also can vary to vary depending on the build. You could play more hand traps, you could play more other tech cards like Desires, Prosperity to boost the consistency of the deck. Very good deck to use your skill expression. And next we do have Salamangreat, so another Salamangreat deck without the Kaiser Colosseum. I do believe that this is the most fair version of Salamangreat that we have seen in a while, because they're just using their raw skills and yeah, raw potential of making the Raging Phoenix with Promethean on their graveyard with the Roar and Rage. So very fair deck, nothing too extravagant or over the top on this deck. I believe most people would love the deck, and it is very fair, and it's far from the ban list, aside from the Promethean, of course. And next, we do have Dragon Maid, Dragon Link, yeah, with the new support of Light and Dark Dragon. So the Dark and Dragon revamped card, and it used to be a tool to maximize this Dragon Maid engine into this Dragon Link build. So I assume they play the new Light and Darkness fusion support, but on this build it's not the case. Maybe they are just using this Dark and Dragon to start plays and yeah, extend. And the trend with Dragon Link is playing more Dragon Maid engines. I'm not really sure about that because that's been the trend recently. They are playing the chamber, the parlor, the tiding into the deck, and I do believe that it could be breaky. I'm playing Dragon Maid myself, and I know the harms of this engine onto this deck, but yeah, it could be really strong to control the match. And tiding, of course, very good recursion, very good interruption, considering that you could end on hieratic seals and tiding fast sometimes. And next, we do have Burn stall. Oh my god. What is this? What in the world is this? So it played multi-chami lava golem with Arias and the Lily Labyrinth. So you are trying to maximize the loop of trap cards using this Threatening Roar, Waboku to stall out the game, and you are going to use your burn cards to burn damage and win in time potentially. And also played the Chorizo. I forget the name of this new fusion, this Magistos fusion, and I do believe it's accessible towards this deck. And that's scary, considering that burn is a very unhealthy deck in any way you could put it. But yeah, this could be a new and fresh way of winning, and yeah, of course, burning for damages. Very insane way of playing the game. This is total madman. And next, we have Dragon Maid. Yeah, of course, Dragon Maid. This time, played the, what I'm saying earlier, the new Fusion Light and Darkness Dragon. They're playing this on this recent build of Dragon Maid, and I believe this is the best version of Dragon Maid currently. And in addition to that, I have also tested out ways of playing Buster Blader and other engines like Tenpai Dragon, and I really think that the Tenpai Sangen is very correct here. You could potentially get the kitchen and also start your plays from that, a good extender as well on your board. And with double hospitality and one changeover, I really think that that is the correct ratio for this build. And also played Bestials now on the main deck with one Magnamut and one Druid Worm, but didn't play the Lubellion onto this deck. So I believe it has too many bricks already, so they are not going to play that. And yeah, that's the last deck on our topping OCG decks from June 25 to June 28. So short span of days, but it really gave a lot of topping decks and our good insight for the new format this coming July. So if you have time, you can visit our Twitter or X page. You can follow me, and also if you have found this video informative and entertaining, you could drop a like on this video and consider subscribing in my YouTube channel. It definitely motivates me a lot. So once again, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.